somebody sent me an article from the Badger Herald, and it was pretty interesting. It says, out-of-the-box ideas on AIDS research. AIDS research is big business here in Wisconsin, at the University of Wisconsin. And I'm just going to, a quick few quotes from the article, and then I wanted to look a little bit at the history of AIDS research. It says, the factor that sets HIV apart from other viruses like hepatitis A, measles, and yellow fever, which all have vaccines, is HIV's ability to rapidly mutate. Because of this, the standard method for making a vaccine will not work. You need some kind of outside-the-box thinking. You need some kind of outside-the-box thinking. Well, in my opinion, this is talking about David Watkins' lab over here at the UW AIDS Vaccine Research Laboratory. And I would say that actually Dr. Watkins is the box that's keeping things from moving along. It says, let's see. I found this to be a very interesting. They're talking about actually somebody named, what's his name here? Thomas Friedrich, who works at the Watkins lab. It says, another aspect of Friedrich's research involves elite controllers, people who get infected with the virus and can live up to 25 years without treatment. These elite controllers make up about 1% of the population. We don't know why these particular genes are good if you have HIV, but having identified these monkeys, what? Elite controllers, people who get infected with the virus and can live up to 25 years, but having identified these monkeys, they switched right in midstream right there. So they understand that there are people who apparently don't get AIDS, but monkeys, in fact, aren't susceptible to HIV. And I thought that was pretty interesting. It says, all the new and innovative ideas for HIV vaccines are designed to be as safe as possible. As the HIV virus only infects primates, monkeys must be used to study the effects of vaccines in a model system, Friedrich said. I wonder if Friedrich really said that. Or I wonder if it was just student reporter not understanding actually what he did say. Monkeys don't get HIV, or you can infect monkeys with HIV, but they don't get AIDS. HIV is human immunodeficiency virus. In all of the labs where they claim to be studying AIDS, they're actually using one of two different viruses. They're using either simian immunodeficiency virus, SIV, or simian human immunodeficiency virus, SHIV, a virus that was invented in a laboratory because monkeys don't get HIV, they aren't susceptible to HIV. So I don't know who doesn't know what they're talking about. It's either the researcher at the Watkins lab, or maybe the student reporter was a little confused. But it made me start to wonder, since this is out-of-the-box thinking and big breakthroughs here on AIDS research. Well, not really breakthroughs. They really didn't say there was a breakthrough. They're just very hopeful. Well, let's look back. Have there been past breakthroughs? I love Google. Let's look at the history of AIDS research. I'm going to read you some headlines. The Washington Post, December 8th, 1989. AIDS vaccine proves effective on monkeys. Achievement hailed as a step toward protecting humans from the virus. Researchers have developed a vaccine that prevents monkeys from getting AIDS. An achievement scientists have hailed as the first truly promising step towards creating a human AIDS vaccine. Until recently, pessimism has dominated the field. Boston Globe, 1991. Researchers see end of AIDS. Florence, there was a big conference in Florence. In closing remarks at the 7th International Conference on AIDS here, top researchers expressed optimism, tinged with caution about the possibility of controlling the disease. I think the decade of the 1990s will see the end of AIDS, said Dr. Samuel Broder. Los Angeles Times, December 18th, 1992. Vaccinated monkeys found to resist AIDS. Animals injected with a weakened version of the simian virus seem to be immunized, scientists say. New York Times, 1993. Vaccine shields monkeys from vaginal infection with AIDS, study finds. October 12, 1995. AIDS test on monkeys successful. A scientist says he has succeeded in causing AIDS in monkeys with a virus more closely resembling the one that infects people. This was the invention, in fact, of the SHIV, because the SIV had turned out to be totally a wash up to 1995. But did they stop using it? Oh, no. Chicago Tribune, 2000. Study points out possible route for development of AIDS vaccine. An AIDS vaccine that helped keep monkeys from getting sick could show scientists, blah, blah, blah. Fox News, September 7th, 2001. AIDS vaccine shows promising results in monkeys. Several studies presented at an AIDS conference here on Thursday suggest that the Harvard vaccine is going to have great success. Blah, blah, blah. June 28, 2002. Another step closer to an AIDS vaccine. Let's see. Duke and Harvard universities report that an experimental vaccine enables monkeys to keep the virus at bay. Blah, blah, blah. 2003. Monkeys' deaths cast pall over AIDS work. Researchers reported disappointing news Wednesday in the quest for an AIDS vaccine using an approach that had looked promising just a year ago. Atlanta Business Chronicle Medical Alert, 2004. AIDS vaccine making early progress at Emory. A 4-year study of macaque monkeys injected with a highly pathogenic strain of HIV virus at the Yerkes National Primate Research Center has brought researchers a step closer. The vaccine kept 23 monkeys injected with HIV alive for more than 3.5 years. Let's see. The Washington Post, March 20th, 2008. The 2-decade search for an AIDS vaccine is in crisis after 2 field tests of the most promising contender not only did not protect people from the virus, but may actually have put them at increased risk of becoming infected. This is on the same level of catastrophe as the Challenger disaster that destroyed a NASA space shuttle, said Robert Gallo, co-discoverer of the human immunodeficiency virus. None of the prospects in the pipeline, every one of the prospects in the pipeline are coming out of the monkey work. None of the prospects currently in the pipeline has any reasonable chance of being effective. In both studies, people who got the vaccine were more likely, not less, to become infected. Researchers had vaccinated a relatively small number of monkeys with the Merck vaccine and then injected them with the monkey equivalent of HIV in a manner that guaranteed they would become infected. Those animals did much better over the long run than infected but unvaccinated ones. We've been able to protect monkeys for a few years with vaccines for an awfully long time against SIV and SHIV. Monkeys don't get HIV no matter what the headlines occasionally say. I thought, so why would they keep doing this? Why would they keep injecting monkeys with these viruses and then trying them on people and finding out they don't work? They've been doing this, as I just showed you, since the late 1980s. Why would they do that? Well, a few years ago, I looked at David Watkins' research and I wondered just how much does this guy make? So I made a little graph. I got my information from the NIH. And it shows, I'm going to hold this up, but just real quickly, well, you can see, the top line here is $5 million. Let me see if you can see this. And you can see that his research has just gone up and up and up and up and up. Over the past few years, he's gotten right in the neighborhood over the past 4 or 5 years combined, something like 25 million bucks. In 2008, his lab got over $3,700,000. So maybe that's a reason that you would keep doing research that was dead end. That's a lot of money. And you should also know that all of this is federal grants, by the way. When federal grants come into a university, the university is getting almost 50% of it. It varies across the country between 40, 45 something percent, sometimes a little bit higher. But, well, if you have a researcher that's bringing in close to $4 million a year, that's close to $2 million a year that you're putting into the general fund that can be used any way you want, perhaps to buy a building that somebody wants to put an educational exhibit in and wants to keep out criticism or the light of day. The light of day is a frightening thing to these people.